Welcome to Movie Slice. Quick, fun recaps of your favorite movies. Sharp, funny, and to the point. Hit subscribe and get your perfect slice of cinema. Our film Kraven the Hunter begins with Kraven riding a van heading to prison. They are being transferred to a prison in Russia. Upon arrival, he is placed in a cell with a man who dislikes having cellmates. The man tells him that the longest anyone has lasted with him in the cell was 1 month before he ended them. But Kraven tells him he won't last more than 3 days. The man laughs because everyone in this prison is on death row. But Kraven doesn't care and goes to sleep. The next morning, Kraven trains in the prison yard using equipment belonging to the leader of the largest gang in the prison. His men confront him and tell him to stop, but when he ignores them, they attack him. Kraven fights them off with ease, knocking their heads together and walking away. The police take him to the gang leader. He is completely in control of the prison. The gang leader interrogates Kraven, asking how he dares to confront his men. During this, Kraven notices a tiger's claw embedded in the ground, realizing the leader is someone significant. When asked who he is, Kraven replies that he is a hunter, but not of animals, rather of criminals like the gang leader. Kraven then attacks and kills the gang leader's men with ease, before killing the leader himself. When the guards enter, Kraven fights them and escapes the prison. His escape is swift, resembling the abilities of various animals. He runs incredibly fast, evading the security forces. His cellmate laughs, realizing Kraven kept his word about escaping within 3 days. Kraven successfully escapes the prison, entering a snowstorm where he encounters a wolf. The wolf initially attacks but then calms down, leaving Kraven unharmed. Kraven runs toward a waiting plane, revealing that his imprisonment was part of a plan to eliminate the gang leader, Simeon. On the plane, Kraven recalls his past 16 years. As a child, he lived with his brother Dmitri and their father Nick. One day, Nick informs them that their mother has committed suicide. Kraven accuses his father of mistreating her, but Nick dismisses this, claiming she was mentally ill and weak. Instead of holding a funeral, Nick takes his sons on a hunting trip to Tanzania to teach them to hunt and toughen them up. In Tanzania, we meet a girl named Calypso, who lives with her grandmother, a powerful sorceress. During a tarot reading, her grandmother predicts a painful event in Calypso's future that will grant her great power. She gives Calypso a magical potion capable of saving someone from death, instructing her to use it during the foretold event. Meanwhile, Nick and his sons hunt for Zar, the most dangerous lion in Africa. Nick encourages Kraven to eat raw meat and become a skilled hunter, while ignoring Dmitri, whom he considers cowardly. The next day, a man named Alex joins their group, seeking partnership with Nick in criminal activities. However, Nick mocks Alex and refuses, leaving him humiliated. Later, Kraven and Dmitri encounters. Kraven aims his gun at the lion but hesitates, feeling a strange connection with the animal. Nick arrives and shoots Zar, angering the lion, which attacks Kraven. Nick fires again, but Zar grabs Kraven and drags him away. Meanwhile, Calypso hears Zar's roar and feels drawn to it. She sneaks away from her family and finds Zar, holding Kraven. The lion looks at her as if asking for help, then drops a single drop of its blood onto Kraven before leaving. Recognizing this as the event her grandmother predicted, Calypso gives Kraven the magical potion. As Kraven is taken away by a rescue team, Calypso leaves him the potion and a tarot card depicting a lion. At the hospital, doctors lose hope for Kraven's survival, but he miraculously recovers when Zar appears in his vision. Kraven awakens with eyes resembling Zar. The next morning, Kraven finds the tarot card in his pocket, but doesn't understand its meaning. The doctor explains that his recovery is unprecedented. His father and brother take him home, where Kraven finds a letter from his late mother. She urges him to be a good man and not follow in his father's criminal footsteps. Nick criticizes Kraven for hesitating to kill Zar, blaming him for endangering Dmitri, calling Kraven weak for not killing Zar, and to cure his fear, Nick presents him with Zar's severed head. Enraged, Kraven decides to leave. He feels a connection with a falcon outside his window, and resolves to live in the wilderness. He packs his belongings, including the clothes he wore during Zar's attack, and finds the potion bottle. Realizing the potion saved him, he waits until nightfall to escape. He climbs over the wall, but falls. Discovering he is unharmed, he senses newfound strength, and boards a ship to leave the country without his father's knowledge. On his way, he encounters a herd of buffalo. Paralyzed with fear, he stands still, but one buffalo protects him until the herd passes. Confused by his connection with animals, Kraven continues to his mother's campsite, and decides to live there. In the wilderness, he discovers enhanced senses, incredible speed, and exceptional accuracy. While chasing a deer, he realizes his speed is extraordinary. He can jump from very high places, and discovers his superpowers more and more while living in the jungle. Suddenly, he hears the sound of gunfire, so he climbs a tree to understand what's happening. Using his sharp vision and hearing, he discovers a gang killing buffaloes to take their horns and sell them. He descends from the heights and attacks them. When he arrives, he becomes enraged upon finding all the buffaloes dead in such a manner. Suddenly 2 hunters appear and attack him. They mock him as a young boy, and tell him to go home, but his pride won't allow it. He picks up a knife from the ground and finishes one of them off. Then he begins to feel that this will be his role in life, to eliminate all the corrupt people. He decides he will become a skilled hunter just as his father wanted, but not a hunter of animals, a hunter of corrupt humans. He snaps back to the present, realizing he's on the airplane. He notices he still has the lion pendant given to him by the girl who once saved his life. Afterward, he disembarks from the airplane and returns to the jungle after completing his mission in prison. When he checks his phone, he finds a message from his brother, assuring him and inviting him to celebrate his birthday. He returns to his mother's house in the jungle, which is now his permanent home. A few days later, we see a gang attack, stealing Buffalo's horn. As they flee the scene, they are surprised to find Kraven standing before them. He asks why they are doing this, but they mock him, saying they are stronger and suggest he stay out of their way. They attempt to drive away, but Kraven skillfully gets under the car, takes down 2 of them, and eliminates them with ease. He confronts the driver and his companion, taking them down as well. One of them fires a gun at him, but he dodges it and escapes with the car. Kraven memorizes the car's license plate and tracks down the gang leader. He confronts him, and finds him standing over his boss's body, whom Kraven had already eliminated. He asks for his name, and upon learning it, Kraven eliminates him as well, crossing his name off his list. He walks away, finishing off 2 more, and removes the necklace he wears, symbolizing his growth. Later, he meets a close friend, who is proud of her journalistic integrity. She once exposed Simon, the leader of the Croft gang. Kraven overhears her and offers his condolences, reminding her of himself by showing her a card. She is shocked to realize he is the boy she once saved. He tells her he has eliminated Simon, the Croft gang leader. When she investigates, she finds news of his death and realizes many others have met the same fate at the hands of different individuals. Some believe Kraven is just a myth, while others think it's a story fabricated by a powerful group trying to dominate the market. The next day he meets her again, and confesses everything. He tells her about his mission to eliminate corrupt individuals, and how he gained extraordinary powers the day she saved him. He shares a list of corrupt names, and asks for her help as a lawyer to take down the most dangerous among them. She promises to think about it and get back to him. Meanwhile, Alex, who once worked with Kraven and Simon during their hunting days, has become the leader of a major gang. His assistant informs him that Simon was killed in his cell, and that the hunter is responsible. Alex, however, dismisses the news, and orders his assistant to bring him Simon's 3 most dangerous men, to take over the business. When they meet, Alex explains his intention to make one of them the leader. They mock him, unwilling to kill one another to prove their worth. To demonstrate his power, Alex activates a device connected to his body, transforming his appearance. One of them panics, and shoots him, but Alex removes the bullets from his body and reverts to normal. As they prepare to shoot him again, one of Alex's men eliminates the shooter, leaving. Alex tells them he needs 1 leader, prompting one of them to kill the other without hesitation to save himself. He declares himself the new leader in place of Simon. The scene shifts to Nick and his son Dimitri, who are singing at a bar. The new gang leader approaches Nick, offering protection and distribution in exchange for a share. Nick agrees, but he suspects a trap and manages to eliminate them with the help of his men at the bar. However, Nick sustains a gunshot wound to his shoulder, and becomes angry at his son for being a coward and hiding instead of defending him. Meanwhile, Alex's assistant informs him of the mission's failure, and reveals a flash drive left at Nick's doorstep. When Alex plays it, he sees surveillance footage of the prison Kraven escaped from, and learns that Kraven is Nick's son, and the hunter. Alex hires an assassin, known as the Foreigner, to eliminate Kraven. The Foreigner begins his mission, searching the prison for clues. He encounters a prison guard, but uses his extraordinary powers to magnetically strip the guard of his weapon and eliminate him. The scene shifts to Kraven in the city, where he visits a tall building to surprise his brother on his birthday. He tells his brother he will spend the entire day with him, and later, they celebrate at a bar. Their father shows up, but Kraven struggles to forgive him, and barely acknowledges him. Their father tries to convince Kraven to return to the family and let go of the past, but Kraven refuses. After the celebration, Kraven takes his brother home, but struggles to sleep due to the noise and technology. Being accustomed to the jungle's tranquility, He goes downstairs to sleep in peace. In the morning, he goes to say goodbye to his brother but finds the place in disarray and blood on the bed. Realizing his brother has been kidnapped by a gang, he becomes enraged and leaps from the building, running toward the car at full speed. And there was no difficulty in anesthetizing his brother for our sake, and Kraven uses his strength and skills, jumping from buildings, and indeed, he catches up with them in the end. He tries to break the car's glass, but it turns out to be bulletproof, so he clings to the end, and continues trying to break the glass, but it remains bulletproof, and he stays clinging to it. He succeeds in opening part of the car, but they shoot him, and he realizes it's him, but he falls from the car. They continue their way and reach a location with a helicopter, and they are surprised when they see him running toward them. He grabs a net and attaches it to the helicopter, trying to stop it with all his strength. He ties it to the ground, but someone shoots at him, so he grabs a pole, attaches it to the helicopter, and tries to stop it with all his might. He ties it to the ground, but again someone shoots at him, so he grabs a pole, jumps, and hits them with it. The helicopter increases its speed, managing to untangle the net from the ground, but Kraven jumps and clings to it, staying attached until he reaches a rescue point. This ensures they disappear, and Kraven goes to Calypso, informing her about the gang that kidnapped his brother. He also tells her about the marks he noticed on him, and when they disappear, she starts making calls to find out. We move to Nick's father, who sends for Kraven to inform him that the gang has kidnapped his son. They demand a ransom of $20 million, and Kraven advises him to pay to get him back. But Nick refuses to pay, not because of the money but because it would make him appear weak. They argue, and Kraven leaves him, and walks away. On the other hand, Calypso finds someone who tells her that the kidnapper is named Omar, living in Turkey. He gives her all the information about him, but later it's revealed he works with the foreigner and was lying to her. After achieving his goal, he eliminates him and contacts Alex, informing him that the hunter is heading to Turkey. Alex then contacts Omar, warning him that the hunter is coming, and advising him to prepare to eliminate him. Indeed, as soon as Calypso tells Kraven that the one who kidnapped his brother is Omar, living in Turkey, he sets off for Turkey. He climbs the gang's headquarters building, eliminating them one by one stealthily. When they sense his presence, he still manages to take them down with his superior strength, raking their leader, Omar. He interrogates him about his brother, but during the interrogation, he notices people aiming a rocket at him. He quickly dodges it, and before Omar dies, Kraven questions him, learning that the one who kidnapped his brother is Alex. Alex's men believe Kraven died from the rocket, so they take a photo to confirm his death. However, they are shocked to find him alive, and he eliminates them effortlessly. He contacts Calypso, informing her that the person who gave her the information was working with Alex to set a trap for him. He warns her that they will likely come for her now, telling her where to. While they talk, she notices men approaching her, so she quickly gathers her belongings from the office and escapes. We move to the foreigner examining the weapon Kraven uses, and the police also see it at the crime scene, where he eliminates them easily. We transition to Alex, who is with Dimitri, telling him that people used to call him weak like him, but he meets a doctor who made him a device that commands respect and however, he dislikes transforming into this creature unless necessary, as the transformation causes him immense pain throughout his body. He proposes a partnership to Dimitri to take over his father's business, after eliminating him, but Dimitri refuses to betray his family, angering Alex. Then his assistant interrupts, informing him that Kraven is still alive and has taken out Omar and all his men. At this moment, the foreigner tells Alex he knows Kraven's location because of the rare plant-based toxin in his weapon, which only grows in a specific forest in Russia. He knows where the forest is. We then see Kraven meeting Calypso at the place he told her about, taking her to where he lives. On their way, a tiger attacks him, but Kraven manages to control it, revealing they were just playing as they are used to doing so. When they enter, Calypso discovers his home, sees all his weapons, and learns how to use them. Having trained with them since she was young during safari trips, she notices him conducting experiments on a specific plant, and he explains that he has been trying for years to recreate the medicine he was given as a child, but has yet to succeed. He asks if she has more of it, but she denies it. Meanwhile, Alex and the foreigner prepare to head to Kraven's location with a larger group of men. The foreigner carries a tranquilizer weapon that causes hallucinations and paralysis, eventually leading to death. They make Dimitri contact Kraven's brother, and Alex learns he is in the forest. He offers Kraven a partnership, promising no harm if he agrees to work together, but Kraven hangs up, declaring war between them. At that moment, Kraven starts preparing with all his weapons, and Alex also readies his men to eliminate him. Suddenly, we see a tiger pulling Kraven, attacking them, and eliminating some of Alex's men. Dimitri takes advantage of the chaos and escapes, but the foreigner notices and pursues him. Kraven continues to eliminate Alex's men one by one, using traps he set in the forest. When Alex hears his men screams, he realizes he is losing and calls for a helicopter, which begins firing rockets, setting the entire forest ablaze. Kraven dodges the flames, and Calypso decides to intervene and help him. While Kraven escapes the fire in the forest, the foreigner shoots him with the tranquilizer, causing hallucinations and nightmares, including visions of spiders. In his delusion, he imagines fighting the foreigner, but in reality, he is hitting a tree. Before the foreigner can kill him, Calypso arrives, shooting an arrow at the foreigner, killing him. She rushes to Kraven, finding him near death, and gives him her grandmother's magical medicine again, reviving him. Alex and his remaining men believe Kraven is dead, so they leave the forest, taking Dimitri with them. On their way, they are ambushed by a herd of buffalo. Alex removes his device to avoid being harmed in the collision. The buffalo attack their vehicles, killing all of Alex's men. Kraven also arrives, launching an attack on Alex. However, Alex fully transforms, and the two clash. Alex proves much stronger, and Kraven struggles to defeat him, but he can't, because Alex is very strong. He was about to kill him, but Kraven notices the location of the device, so he hits him with a metal rod. This actually affects him, and weakens him. Kraven takes advantage of the situation, and manages to tie him up with a large metal rope. He throws him in the middle of a herd of buffalo, and they all attack him. Kraven goes to him, before he dies, and asks him who sent him the video of his escape from prison. Alex tells him that it was his father who sent it. Kraven is shocked when he finds out, and at that moment, Alex dies completely. Kraven has eliminated all of them, and saved his brother. Later, we see Kraven confronting his father, telling him that he was the one who sent the video to Alex. His father tells him that he is his father, and of course knew he was a hunter, even if they didn't live together. He recognized it through his actions, his way of killing people, and his combat style. He admits that Kraven was his biggest rival and that he couldn't eliminate him alone because Kraven's gang was stronger than him. His father says that if he had asked Kraven to eliminate Alex, he would have refused, so he made Kraven do it by sending him the video. Kraven stands up, and before leaving, he tells his father that he eliminated all the criminals and gangs except him, because he is still his father. But even now, he doesn't know how to do it. He leaves him, and walks away. At that moment, he hears the sound of a bear approaching. He grabs his weapon, but finds that the bullets are missing, and the bear kills him. We discover that it was his father who took the bullets from the weapon. A year later, we see Dimitri in a bar, and Kraven goes to congratulate him on his birthday. Dimitri tells him that he has started seeing a doctor to treat his fears. We find out that this doctor is the same one who treated Al. Kraven notices that Dimitri is connecting with Russian gangs, and has taken over all his father's business. Kraven leaves, but when he follows Dimitri, he discovers that Dimitri has acquired supernatural powers, allowing him to transform into anyone he wants. We learn that Dimitri has gained these powers, and that there are no longer any gangs in Russia. He aims to become the first and largest gang in Russia, but Kraven tells him that he won't let him do that. Dimitri challenges him, saying, "If you can stop me, then do it." We understand that this is the beginning of a second part, so make sure to subscribe, and activate the notification bell, so you